Hey guys, welcome to Precious Cargo. I'm Precious. Good morning. I'm assuming you're listening to this in the morning time. This is actually the first time I've ever recorded in the mornings. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy. All right, are you guys ready? Now it's time to focus on your conscious manifesting. We all know that we are always manifesting, right? I think it actually was Eckhart Tolle that termed the phrase conscious manifesting. And that is what we're going to do. We are going to work on conscious manifesting. We're always manifesting, right? So let's use it to our advantage. Now that you know that every thought, idea, etc. manifests into your reality, we can start being more mindful, being more aware, being more conscious of what we are actually manifesting into our reality, right? Otherwise, when you are unconsciously manifesting, you're essentially just allowing others to manifest for you. So let's not do that, and let's actually create our own reality and create the reality that we would like to see. All right. So we are consciously manifesting our realities here, people. All right. And so in doing so, I am introducing a new method. I've been working on some different formulas for different types of manifesting because there isn't, like I said in my book, Create Your Own Reality, there isn't a one-stop shop method for creation, right? Like different things require different types of energy, different things require different things. It's just what it is. Okay. So this method is called the 2-option method. It's going to be a huge focus for book 2. So all right, you ready? This is how I got to it. The 2-option method. I'm so excited about it. The mindset shift. 2 options method preview is what this is. This is what I put on here. I'm so excited. I've been working on this for years. 2 years. I've been working on this method for 2 years. Really in depth, and I want to make sure that there's enough evidence behind it, enough scientific evidence behind it, and enough studies behind it before I publish it. So yeah, this is really good. Okay. So I started this method because I'd feel like I'd failed. I had felt like I had failed. I didn't get something specific that I wanted, but I didn't fail. I never fail. So why would I, or how is it that this one thing made me feel as if I had, and that was odd. It was so strange. It was such an odd feeling, but I think that it needed to happen in order for me to get here. Okay, so here, let me just read this. We're going to focus on just reading it. We're focusing. Okay. I had felt like I failed when I didn't get a specific thing I wanted, but I didn't fail at all. I never fail. So why or how is it that this one thing made me feel as if I had? What in my mind was fixating on this one thing? And why was my mindset so intent on failing at it? And we are no longer, you see how I am taking accountability and responsibility for it? You see that? Instead of blaming everything else around me, we're done being a victim. Okay. Victim mindset's done. Victim mentality is done. Victim mentality is over. All right. So after many nights of crying myself to sleep, when you see what this thing is, you'll understand. I finally had an epiphany. I hadn't failed after all. My mindset was choosing an old reality over my new reality, probably because the old was familiar, and that equals safety in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, in your soul. We'll talk about that later. And my mindset at the time was choosing that failure or lack in that situation because that is what was familiar to me. Okay. And so this brought about something that I discovered that we all do. And I present to you the 2-option method. And honestly, you guys, it doesn't get any simpler than this. It really doesn't. 2 options. Everything in life always comes down to 2 options or choices. And yes, even no action is an option or a choice. Even no action is an action. Think about it for a second. You could go to college or you could go to trade school. You have 2 options. You could turn right or you could turn left. Do you want to settle or do you want to make a change? Those are your 2 options, right? Your mindset is the most important part of creating your reality. You change your mindset, you change your life. And that is why I say that manifesting isn't necessarily a thing or a concept, but it's a lifestyle, right? It's something that when you're consciously deciding, you are constantly having to decide. You're constantly making a choice. You are constantly choosing what it is that you want to see in your reality. It becomes your life, it becomes your lifestyle. It's an everyday thing, literally. Immersion is truly the only way to become that which you desire to be, truly. Like the version of you who is and has everything that they want isn't laying in bed. You have two options though. You can continue to lay in bed and live in your current reality, or you can go to the mall and start manifesting your new reality, or however you do it, or whatever it is that you want to do. You can start filling out college applications to the schools that you want to get into and stop looking at whatever else it is telling you that you can't do it, you know? Guess what we're tying this into? Embodiment. When you start making the choices and aligning with the person that already has it or already is it in your two option method. Anytime you have to go to make a choice, right? We're at a crossroads. Anytime you have to go to make a choice, the version of you who is and has everything that you want, which choice are they making? They're making choice A or choice B. Okay. So let's say they make choice A. At that point, you are now embodying and becoming the version of you who has what that is. Do you see how all of this is interlinked, whatever? It's all connected. It's all connected. And in doing that, in making the choice, you guys, I want you guys to know how easy this is. Like, this is so easy. And I'm really breaking this down in a way that is the least complicated possible. When you are making your choices and you are making your decisions, you're going A or B, B or C, right? A or B, B or C. You have your two options method. You're at your crossroads. Which one you want to pick, A or B? The version of you who has everything that you want is choosing A, right? So we choose A. Okay. Now that we are choosing A and we are on A, we have now embodied part of what it takes to be that person. I'll give you an example and then we'll get into something else. This podcast, for example, I had a fear of being seen when I started it. I had fucking extreme self-consciousness, extreme. My self-concept was nowhere near as high as it is now, but I knew the version of me. I know what the version of me in 5 years looks like, right? And in doing so, I had to make a choice. Do I want to continue living in that fear, or do I want to move into the version of me that I fully had a vision of 5 years from now? Yes. So in doing that, I had to make choices, right? I wake up in the morning, I write down my notes, I do my things for my podcast, I write my books, I do all the things, I do my TikToks, like everything that I do was to overcome my fear of being seen, because that is my soul's purpose here, right? Is to help elevate the collective consciousness. Sorry, my voice is so raspy in the mornings. Honestly, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. I kind of like a raspy. I like a raspy voice. A first thing in the morning voice. Anyway, so I had to make choices, right? And so when you're making those choices, each choice that you make is a timeline shift. Oh, we're shifting timelines. Scary. We're shifting timelines. No, it's not that deep. I think people hear timeline shift and they hear this and that, and you think that you gotta lay in meditation for 5 hours, and that's not the case. You quite literally, like, everything you do is a timeline shift. Everything you do is an option. You have two options, period. That's it. Action or no action. Left or right. Up or down. You can't do 80 things at the same time. You can only do two. You can only do one, right? You're a physical body on the 3D plane. You can only do one. God damn. These allergies are kicking my ass right now. Okay. Have you guys noticed that you were shifting timelines yet? If you've been following the steps that I've given you, you definitely shifted timelines. Definitely. Your life, if you've been following these steps, you are not the same person that you were when this season first started. Neither am I. And that's beautiful. And that's how you evolve. And that's how you evolve quickly, right? That's how you quickly evolve. And then when you're on this new timeline, you fully embodied it. You keep making the choices that version of you would make. You're no longer pretending. You're no longer trying to become that person. You're no longer trying to become that version. You now are that person. You had a full identity shift. Me 3 months ago, me 6 months ago, me 3 years ago, not the same person. I have fully had an identity shift. Fully. You used to be persisting in your new reality so much that the shift felt so normal that you didn't even realize that it happened. Like, I want you to just to look back. You've been following these steps. I want you to just look back and look at your pictures, your camera roll from this time last year. And I bet you there's a huge fucking difference. You've been following these steps. I bet you there's a huge difference. Yeah. Pay attention, follow the steps, do what you need to do. Like, literally, you just wake up one day and you're the new you. It's crazy. It happens so exponentially fast that you don't realize that it's happening. And it's beautiful. That is how you shift timelines. Plain and simple. These people, I'm not going to knock anybody's hustle. I'm really not. But you really don't need to pay $10,000 to go on a retreat to learn how to shift timelines. You don't. Honestly, you really don't. I'm not saying a retreat isn't good. I love me a good retreat. I'm going to 2 different ones in a couple of weeks. All right. However, I need you guys to understand that these principles, these tools, these concepts are so easy, and I'm making them as easy as possible for you. And if you are encountering coaches or you're looking for different things, I highly, highly, highly recommend you choose someone who can make it simple for you. If it's complicated, most people are going to fall off the bandwagon. You're going to have, like, even something as simple as quitting drinking or whatever. I'm not saying that the 12-step program doesn't work, but I am saying quitting cold turkey might work better for you. If that is something that, the 12 steps is just too much to think about, or, the world is just so chaotic and so crazy anyway. The last thing we need to do is complicate manifesting. Like, that's the last thing we need to do. This should be the easiest thing in the world. It should literally feel like second nature to you. Like, it should, when you wake up in the morning, what is the version of you who is what you want or has what you want? What are they doing? Scrolling on TikTok all morning? No. They are getting up. They're getting things done. They're being productive. I don't know, maybe the version of you that you want to be does scroll TikTok all day. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you're a content creator. That's fine. Do that productively. Let me find my notes on the victim mentality, because I've had enough. I wrote something about something else and I was just like, oh, that's going to be a good one. Okay. I wrote this about victim mentality after I had a date with someone and I just couldn't do it. Like, it was just too much. I can't. Are things happening to you or for you? This is literally just like, we're okay. To you or for you? Are you breaking down or are you breaking through? So here are your action steps. Oh, this is good. Okay. She was in her bag when she wrote this. Action steps to overcoming victim mentality. I think I talked about this last week. I said I was going to throw some in here. Change your mentality, mindset to believing that everything is always working in your favor, period. Everything always works. Bro, a friend of mine, he was like, it's just saying everything always works out for me 50 times a day is overkill. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it is not, honey. Not overkill. Everything is always working in my favor. Everything is always working in your favor. But you have to ingrain that into your subconscious mind one way or another. So you got to reprogram your mind to know that everything is always working in your favor. Everything. I don't care if it's what they call it, the burnt toast theory or something. I don't care if your keys fell, or think about all the people that missed their rides to go to work that day when 9/11 was happening, or all the people who missed their flights on 9/11. You know what I mean? Like, everything is always happening in your favor. I actually, when I lived there, actually had a manager. I don't even remember what company I was working for at the time, but I had a manager and he worked at the Chase Bank there and was literally running an hour late, which he never did. Never. And this man is very punctual. Like, I will say this man is very, very punctual. Runs multiple companies, like, very punctual, very on time. And so I know for a fact that when he said he was an hour late, it's like, what the fuck? How are you an hour late? That's not your character, right? Was running an hour late on the ferry heading into the city as it happened. There was a reason he was running an hour late that one day. Do you see what I'm saying? Everything is always happening for you, regardless of whatever you think it is. Even if you think that it's an unfavorable situation, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to change your perspective. All of this is a perspective mindset shift. All of it. Everything you do, all the manifesting, the conscious manifesting, the 2-option method. We're introducing a lot. This is a pretty big episode with information. Excuse me. Change your mentality, change your mindset. Know that everything is always working out in your favor. Okay. Remain consistent in the steps and techniques. Reprogramming. Gosh, there's so much happening this morning. Okay. Remain consistent in the steps and techniques. Reprogramming takes time. You didn't get conditioned, air quotes, if you're not on camera. You didn't get conditioned overnight. All right. So be easy on yourself when things seem to take a little bit of time. It's okay. It really is. It's not that deep. It took me 10 years to manifest my first marriage to my ex-husband, but I got married and the wedding was cute and it was on Netflix. You guys can go watch it. Marriage and Mortgage on Netflix. We are episode 3 and you will see also why I got divorced. But yeah, it took me 10 years. It took me 11 to fully manifest my infertility, right? We've talked about that in the past. It's in my book as well if you would like to know more about that story. And guess what? It all happened. And this is the process. And that's what I mean by consciously manifesting. I didn't even realize that I was consciously manifesting my infertility. Anyways. Okay. Trust the process and know that regardless of what is seen visibly, everything is working out perfectly for you. Period. There was something that happened in, I think, December of last year that I knew was going to happen. And I tried to warn them. But sometimes you just got to let people see things for themselves. I was always like, do you need my help? Do you need my help yet? You need my help? No? Okay. Next time a psychic lady tells you something, you better listen. Keep your frequency high. I put a star by this one. Keep your frequency high. Do one thing daily that sparks joy. That is actually going to be your weekly assignment. Every single day I need you to do something that sparks joy. I don't care if it's just rolling up a blunt. In fact, yes. That's exactly what it should be. No, but I don't care what it is. Do one thing every day that sparks you joy. Even if that's just watching your favorite television show. You need to keep your frequency high in the process of this. Do not let anyone else bother you and lower your frequency. Take accountability and responsibility for being the sole creator of your life. Take accountability and responsibility for being the sole creator of your life. Take accountability and responsibility for being the sole creator of your life. And I mean that. Okay. Love on yourself. Love on yourself through this. You got to love on yourself. Keep celebrating yourself on Venus Day. Celebrate yourself every damn day. Love on yourself. Okay. And I'm telling you, I'm keeping this short, sweet, simple to the point because I want you guys to know that it is not complicated. It is so easy. Manifesting is the easiest thing. You're always manifesting. Manifesting is easy as shit. I get everything that I want whenever I want it, period. End of discussion. It doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't even matter what it is. It's mine. Two options method, embodiment, keeping a high frequency, loving on myself, making sure that I am being everything that I need to be that version of me, right? Realizing that I am the sole creator of my reality, not other situations, not other circumstances, not other people. And everything that happens is always happening for me and in my favor. You guys, it's a mindset. And this is why you need to hire me for mindset coaching. But for real, it starts with you. And that is this week's episode. Short, sweet, to the point. I like a morning. I feel like I don't ramble as much in the mornings as I do. Like I'm just haven't gotten my gears going yet. You know what I mean? So maybe I should start recording in the morning so y'all are not like, what the fuck is this girl talking about right now? I'm going to start doing that. You get much more concise, short, sweet, to the point. You don't get all these random ass stories. I'm just throwing in at that point. I've just been yapping all day. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, that is this week's episode. Love on yourself. Do something daily. That is your weekly assignment. Do something daily that sparks joy. Cleaning, whatever it may be. Do something. Read a book. I told y'all I'm reading Neville Goddard right now, didn't I? Yeah, it's so good. God, I'm in my enlightenment bag. But yeah, that is this week's episode. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye.